Oh boy, well, it's time for me to catch up on Clone Wars. I'll be doing, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy, 5 episodes. Well, and the interesting thing is that they actually kind of repeat some things here, which, well, it's not interesting. It's just a point to be made, and it's not really for the better. But anyway, the Lair of Grievous. So, hey, have you ever wondered where Grievous hangs out, and props his feet up and reads the paper and watch some TV or whatever? Well, now you find out. Well, more demonstrations of, how terrible the droids are. The main ones they use, I guess, because they're cheap. But, oh, good Lord, they're awful. That was always a mistake. But anyway, so General Grievous, one thing you notice about him in Clone Wars is he's just not that impressive. I mean, he's a bit of a bungling. And of course, well, to give him credit, I mean, he's surrounded by those idiot droids. And so what do you expect from the guy, So at this point, Count Dooku is not too impressed with him, so he's like, hey, I gotta put you through the gauntlet to prove yourself and all that. So he gets chased by some Jedi, and it's an interesting thing there because these are 2 new characters, and yes, I forgot their names, but apparently one of them I do remember one name. This apparently was a former Padawan of Dooku himself, called Kit Fisto. And that's all we're going to say about that. So you had the 2 Jedi in there, and one's, the master, and the other is Padawan or up-and-comer or what have you. And the up-and-comer, is burning with youth and energy and just wants to really send a message to these little bastards. And, of course, it gets the better of them, and the Jedi ends up dying in this. And it's, of course, a precursor. You can see similar things between Anakin and Obi-Wan. And there's even a line of this, and I guess it was Attack of the Clones, where, they're talking about the younger Jedi that they're training are being arrogant with their powers. And Yoda says, yeah, it's a problem, So... And here I'm thinking this is kind of giving you, an indication of that. So Grievous escapes. He wins in the end, more or less, and so he earns back his place. But man, oh man, oh boy! Plus they kill his dog. Oh, he's got to be pissed. So that was his little lesson in spanking, I guess. And now he's back in good with the separatist movement. Boy, the poor bastard never finds out that he's still just as much a dupe as everybody else, because Dooku and Palpatine have no intention of the separatists winning. They're just manipulating for power over Coruscant and the galaxy. Of course, stupid Dooku is just as much a dupe as anyone else. Yeah. Oh boy, that Palpatine, huh? Anyway, so Dooku, thinking he's so smart, well, guess what, buddy? He gets captured in the next episode. But not by the Jedi, no, by pirates. Look, it's a filthy, dangerous world out there, and you better be careful. So this ends up where you have this means by where Anakin and Obi-Wan, they're going to go pick him up, but then they end up being captured as well. These are sleazy people. And they have an adventure, and it's the kind of the old thing of prison escape, where you're handcuffed together, and they make a good run of it, and this is what happens. And there's a moment there where if only Dooku could have turned to the good side, he would have been a really great Jedi, But of course, he's a monster. So then, so they gotta resolve this into the next episode called Gungan General, which is pretty much almost, not quite. This is more the troopers are handling things, but through the means of the real leader getting killed and whatnot, Jar Jar Binks is seen as the general of this mission. And of course, this is kind of almost a repeat, not as quiet as Bombad Jedi, where, he's mistaken for that, but it's not, on par with that, but it's almost to the point of you're doing the same thing with silly Jar Jar, and there's not a whole lot else to do with him at this point. He's just there to be stupid, and that's about it. So it wasn't all that great of an episode. There's, good moments with Anakin and Obi-Wan and all that, and their attempts to escape and what have you, and the clone troopers and whatnot. But you see, because I'm trying to give a Jar Jar a chance. I know people were so rough on the character, and I thought he did better in the Bombad Jedi episode than we saw of him in Phantom Menace. And Phantom Menace overall, even if you took him out, I still think it's a bad movie. But of course, I've since seen worse. Oh boy. So then we jump out of that and into a brand new story with Jedi Crash. Well, it pretty much tells you what the story is. So Anakin is rescuing a Jedi along with Ahsoka, and they're in their shuttle, and it crashes, and he's pretty much out of action because he's badly injured. And so they have to figure out how to survive in this strange world with dangerous creatures, and of course the Separatists soon to arrive. Well, they do, and then they find some kitty cats who don't want to have anything to do with the war, but they're going to have to deal with the war. So finally, in Defenders of Peace, yes, the Jedi, meaning Anakin, Ahsoka, and what was her name again? Ayla. They have to save these people with their clone troopers and whatnot from the Separatists, who are just happen to be there. They're coming there to take this territory, and but all they really want to do is test a new weapon that wipes out all organic life. And they want to test it on this poor village of kitty cats. Whereas the leader of Kitty Cat, he just wants to be a pacifist and doesn't want to, and refuses to be involved. Whereas the young ones are impressed with the Jedi and want to help them and all this sort of stuff, and figure, look, we got to defend what we got here, And so they end up actually joining the Jedi in the battle, and you actually get some pretty good action here of the fight with the droids, even though, the stupid droids are stupid, but the impressive droids are impressive. So, and then, of course, the stupid idiot fat slob who ends up being captured and all that. So, sort of a hit and miss run of episodes, but you do get some great Jedi fights and battles. And the clone troopers and all that, they handle that well. Some stories a little weak here and there, but not bad, and it's over quick anyway because they're very short. And one of the things about it, what looks good, of course, I always said, like, the human characters don't look good, but everything else does. Aliens, droids, the spaceships look fantastic. All of that stuff is keeping with it. And the more I look at it and some elements of it, I don't know if this was the intent. I haven't watched any, documentaries on the making of or anything like that. I suppose at some point I will. But I'm wondering if maybe they were taking cues from the Ralph McQuarrie paintings and that sort of thing. And that's kind of more in keeping with what the look of this animation style presents for the series. But anyway, there you go. So I'll move on to some more, and I think I will be grouping them a lot more this way because I got more shows to watch, and well, that's the way it is. Thank God these are only, well, they're not even 30 minutes. They're like less than 30 minutes. So thank God for that. And sometimes on break at work, I can just pop up the phone and watch one, So, we'll get back to that shortly. So thank you for watching and listening. Say, why not like and subscribe and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my many stores that have plenty of goodies for you, most notably my comic book Night Knight. Yes, you can actually see Night Knight in action based on the audio plays that I do on occasion in my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, or eventually posted on this very channel. Oh yeah. Speaking of this channel, you can also check out my videos over at BitChute.com, and don't forget to check out the Mr Nailsin Show over at RadioMisfits.com.